So the Mega Modular MIDI machine is effectively a USB plug-and-play human interface device for communicating with primarily music production software, but could also be applied to swarm robotics and anything that will take MIDI as an input, really. And the idea behind it is to create something that is flexible in that it will represent the GUI you're actually working with far better than buying one device for a mixing desk and another for a drum machine and another for synthesizer control. You just have one thing that you rearrange, and not only will it allow you to save on costs and not buying all those devices, but really give you something flexible that works in the way you think. Communication protocol isn't so much what's important there, it's actually the flexibility of the controller. One would be like a swarm robotics, being able to, say you had a swarm of 24 robots, you could assign a button to each robot and say, I want to detail this robot to behave independently and I want to choose this one, and it's all at your fingertips and it's reassignable, so you're not just sat there for ages trying to figure out why your code doesn't interact with it. You just change it so it matches your code. The big one was when I developed my previous prototype, it all seemed to be working very nicely, and then I discovered that while I could have pretty much any analog sensor in the world integrated, I couldn't use rotary encoders because of the way I was using a multiplexer system, and it just so happened that if it wasn't looking at that encoder at that moment, then transitions could be missed and you wouldn't get the right kind of input. Well, I'd like to get this out to market, and I'd like to think that I've designed it in a way that's fairly future-proof, so I can do a lot of addition at a later date. I can add new modules and new software capabilities. But what I really want to do is use this software framework to make a wide range of MIDI instruments, because I am a self-taught guitarist and I do a bit of electronic music as a hobby, but I found that MIDI guitars suck. So I'd like to make some that have some real ergonomic work behind them and they feel a bit more like the original instrument, because you play with muscle memory. You don't think so much about where your fingers go. You want something that just feels right. So I like to use this framework and try and expand it into some other instruments. I remember as a kid I kind of wanted to be an inventor. I wanted to be a lot of things. I just always kind of had an interest in technology and pulling things apart and seeing how they worked, or maybe not really understanding how they worked, but at least seeing how they looked inside. If there were more events where groups are coming to schools and providing hands-on engagement, things like Robot Wars, like who doesn't love Robot Wars, right? So if you could bring that into a school and make it something tangible that kids can actually have a go at and experience engineering as something other than lots and lots of math, because that's not really what it is at all. And I think it's just a lack of real understanding of what engineering is at a young age.